Good evening, morning, night, or afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It appears we're already going live. There was a wait call. So, my name is Haraldsson. I'm going to be bringing to you the commentary here in the really big tournament. Cameraman is going to be Krycha, so welcome to all. So glad that everybody could make it. Just configuring the last few things on the slots of the server and various other configurations, and then we should be good to go. So we do have on our hands today the first game that I have actually commentated of the tournament so far. The really big tournament, that being Team Not Now, currently on the Survivor side, versus Team Apex, currently on the Infected side. And it appears that we're just getting anybody out that shouldn't be here. Just, in case you are able to join this game, guys, you're not supposed to be able to. It is a mistake if you are able to, so please refrain from doing so and stick to, essentially your language of choice, really, because there is this one, but there's also a Russian and a Chinese version of this match. If you are more familiar with any of those languages, whether it be Mandarin or Russian, then maybe better if you headed there. Nonetheless, as you can see on your screens, it is going to be played on Death Toll, which for me is very exciting. I do very much like the Left 4 Dead 1 maps. I think they add an interesting dynamic. And as we are also seeing by the automatic scanner that detects people's locations, there's a lot of Chinese people in this particular fixture. This is going to be a home and away fixture as well, providing, of course, the scores are somewhat even, then it will indeed end up being a home and away fixture. So, providing it is close, we will be here for up to 2 hours. So, in the meantime, feel free to replenish any beverages and what have you, because we are just getting anybody out that shouldn't be here, and then after that, we'll set the team. So once again, to all, welcome. Good evening, morning, night, or afternoon. In the United Kingdom, where I reside, it's currently afternoon, but I know we have all sorts of people from all sorts of regions. Looking forward to the tournament overall, honestly. Not just this match, but the whole tournament as well. I mean, I am back tomorrow as well with 2 different matches, one at 6 p.m. London time, another one at 11 p.m. London time, so got plenty of things to look forward to. It appears that people are being registered as casters. That would also include me. Hopefully everybody is having a wonderful day, considering all the circumstances, especially, well, in the United Kingdom recently with the new lockdown. Hopefully everybody, specifically from there, if anybody is doing as well as can be, as well as just anybody else in general. Hopefully everybody is coping well with the current circumstances. And hopefully everybody is as looking forward to this as I am. Won't be able to read the chat because I don't really want to risk my PC being weird, so I'm going to avoid that. So if you are sending me any messages, I do apologize. I won't be able to read it until possibly after the match if I watch it on demand or something, but for now, I will not be able to check the chat, so my apologies. Just a bit of downtime, ladies and gentlemen. We do need an administrator present because we do have a few people who need to be registered into various roles. So downtime is to be expected for the time being. Once again, we can only really apologize on behalf of whatever is causing it. Either way, not too worried though, because we are looking to play a Death Toll home and away, which is all the more exciting for me in particular because I love Death Toll. If somebody needs their caster, another person needs to be registered as a cast. For the time being, we are just waiting on, I believe, the caster for somebody else's stream, and then we shall be good to go. Few people that we're currently waiting on. So, unfortunately, as is traditional in Left 4 Dead 2, we won't be beginning at the time we were supposed to begin, which would have been by now about 14 minutes ago. All we can really do is apologize. I mean, we're just waiting on a few more people to join it, is what it looks like. Unfortunately, we are actually ready, but various others are not at the present moment. All in all, though, there's a lot of players here, actually, that I am not too familiar with, which is very good for me, because I'd love to see some new players that I haven't seen before. And considering this tournament really does live up to its name, you know, being a really big tournament, when you look at the team sheet on the Google document and you have a look at how many teams are present, there's a darn lot. So it is indeed correctly named a really big tournament. Brought to you by the likes of various legends as Rails Barlow. Some OG community heads behind the really big tournament. With all sorts to look forward to. I'm going to have to mute my game, actually, because I hear somebody speaking in what I presume is Mandarin. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of downtime. It isn't going to be much to look forward to right now, but, you know, we're just hoping to get it underway as soon as possible. In the meantime, a little bit of silence. We'll get back to you when we know about the situation. During the downtime as well, actually, as a reminder, just to let you know, this is going to be Team Not Now, currently on the Survivor side, and they're going to be against Team Apex, currently on the Infected side. It is indeed scheduled for a home and away fixture as well. So we have those things to look forward to as well once we have gone live. Krycha has been registered as a caster, so it does appear that we should be good to go fairly soon. And I know for a fact that that should not be joining. Once again, apologies for the downtime. We are nearly ready to go, it appears. Okie dokie. So rejoining, and I don't believe there's anything more to be done. So looking like we will be going live in the next few minutes, ladies and gentlemen, in the really big tournament on this Death Toll fixture between Team Not Now and Team Apex. Looking like we're all good to go. So probably a good idea now to put a stop to replenishing any beverages and snacks and whatnot, because we are looking like we're pretty ready. Let's hope so anyway. So welcome to all. We have not yet started, so if you have just gotten here, you are in luck. We haven't started just yet, so I believe everybody is ready. You are in luck. And we are going live, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome to the really big tournament. This is the first match I have commentated so far. Well, I haven't commentated it yet, but I will be about to. So we are on Death Toll, and Team Not Now, currently on the Survivor side, are just beginning, or are they? Are they actually? Well, let's wander for a second, because it doesn't appear they are. They have some technical difficulties. Nonetheless, we should pretty much be going live anyway, so let's just hope it's not a false alarm. Team Not Now currently on the Survivor side. We have now paused, so it might have been a false alarm, actually. We are not beginning just yet. It appears that we have readied up. We should be going live now. I'm not actually going to say anything until I know that we're going live, so I'm just going to wait a second. Once again, apologies to all. It's yeah, just apologies on behalf of everything that's currently going on. Unfortunately, not a whole lot we can really do. Oh, we are actually live, and the boomer did go in for a rocket boom there. He does get popped, so he won't make anything happen with that. So it's going to be a charger, smoker, and a hunter in the hands of currently Team Apex, being mostly of Chinese origin. There's going to be a hunter pre-spawned above the survivors. They're coming up to the ladder choke point, and boomer will be replaced with a spitter. They do have that smoker for separation, and they do have the charger and hunter for interceptions, plus of course the spitter for various damages. So hunter and smoker both pre-spawned. Charger and spitter have not yet spawned. 2 survivors currently on the high ground, 2 on the low ground. Everybody on the low ground has moved upwards, and over they jump. That's a decent move, actually. There's going to be hunter landing, and there's going to be a hang on to Zoe, followed by a pull and a charger and a spitter. 3 people on the same survivor. That is absolutely brutal. That's an incapacitation onto Bill, no questions asked. And it's going to be a charger landing. Does conclude the attack, but my goodness, that was very well played, actually. That looks like it was going well for the survivors, because they jumped over the railing and they actually dodged the spit, but they still got punished because they had a pull followed by a spitter and a charger, both scratching. And there's also going to be a tank. And in this particular tunnel, most of the cars are actually hittable, so they are going to choose to go out of that. Smoker behind misses the tongue, and jockey is shut down as well, so survivors have no difficulty making it back. Hunter moves in, is skeeted actually. Smoker as well is headshotted into oblivion, and tank, excuse me, is moving in the cars. He has plenty to work with, honestly. You know, he's got 2 here, and he's got another one ahead. He's got plenty, so in moves the first car. It's a nice hit, actually. That's a decent hit on, not so much on the second one, but definitely the first one was a good hit. And that one as well is also a good hit, so he has plenty of cars, about 4 in total. Boomer spawns up, but he does get popped. Nice reaction times from the survivors. The guys on Team Not Now. Tank just continuing to throw some rocks. So, of course, bear in mind as well, by the way, guys, this is going to be a home and away fixture for anybody who missed that little detail. Tank in the hands of ABCD for Team Apex. Just currently in the trees. He's going to be moving the car in. He's on 99% HP, so he hasn't really taken a lot of chip. In moves the car. Into the telephone post, though. And that car just barely... actually does connect with Zoe, but doesn't in-cap her. That's slightly fortunate for Zoe, I must say. Another car is hit completely out of play. Tank is going to look for a first punch. He does land it onto Bill, although he does create a bit too much distance to continue. Charger is missing everybody. Hunter moving in for an interception. Nice double punch by the tank. He has punched both survivors onto the high grounds, though. He is moving for the car now as the survivors have completely surrounded him. Gets an in-cap, actually, so that's Bill black and white at the very least. That's a good result. Tank escapes with his life. He escapes with 433 HP into the bushes.
If you go down like this again, that's it for you.
And Zoe is indeed correct. If Bill does go down like that again, it is it for him. He is black and white, 78 HP, gradually declining. Smoker, Boomer, and a jockey, tank on pass number 2 from inside the bushes. Has landed plenty of punches, but no rocks just yet. Boomer first, onto 2 survivors. Well played by the Boomer. Tank is slowly making his way in. He has a car, actually, which is very dangerously positioned. That's an in-cap. Very dangerous positioning of the car. Tank can't really make much more happen. Smoker is going to go for the pull. He could potentially drop down here, even on that low HP, and land something with that car. Let's just see if he does choose to do that. It's risky, but he could make it happen. Hunter is spawned up. He's delaying the get-up. Rock is unsuccessful, but the delay is enough. However, they do chase the tank down and kill him on the high ground, which is very well played. Because as we can see, the car is literally on top of Francis right now. Hunter is taken out, and as the tank did die, the car did eventually disappear. So, all in all, a decent result for the survivors, apart from the black and white, really. It was a very nice car play. Survivors moving onwards and upwards here, with Bill, as I say, being black and white. He does take the pills, so he is as high HP as he can be. It is a 2-2. Charger moves in first, along with the Spitter, so it's a charge spit. They're going to try to get the Boomer stumble in the spit, but they end up stumbling him out of the spit instead. All of that damage was inflicted onto Bill. They might be looking to get the kill, actually, because since he's black and white, he will end up being possibly a high priority target for Team Apex. We have a Smoker, Charger, and a Hunter, which is completed with a Spitter. Hunter is going for the wall kick. He does land onto Zoe, first and foremost. Spitter and Charger. Decent. Honestly, that was a very well played by the Charger. He didn't go for the charge, he just went for the stumble. He purposely charged into the wall and got the stumble in the spit, so well played to him. Spitter and Smoker both escaping with their lives there. They don't want to get rid of those spawns, so they have successfully saved them. No more sets of pain pills, and, well, Bill is actually their lowest HP person right now. Smoker first, Jockey first, actually ended up landing onto Zoe, followed by the Smoker, whose tongue is cut by a tree. Ends up pulling Zoe again, and will be shut down for his troubles. No death onto Bill, but, their health bonus has been eliminated somewhat, at least. Only one person being on permanent HP. Hunter is spawned up behind. He's pouncing around just to stop them from getting into the safe room immediately. However, that is exactly what they do, and they make it into the safe room, not with the greatest health bonus, but they still make it into the safe room regardless, and that's a good result. 24 points per successful survivor, which will put them at 396 points. After round number 1 of potentially 8. And it's now role reversal time. Apex now going onto the survivor side, and not now going onto the infected side.
Sounds good to me.
I'm pretty sure I've readied up. That is true, though. Indeed, casters, when they are registered as a caster, they also need to ready up. So all in all, let's just see how this does unfold. These are the people, of course, with the ping disadvantage. They're currently on their away fixture. them being predominantly based around China.
This sucks big time.
So this is an away fixture for them, and then they will be moving on to a home fixture
You guys ready?
after this match. Hence why I say map 1 of potentially 8, because we might be doing 1 to 4 twice on Death Top. I am ready up, I don't know who it is. Okay, there we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, the really big tournament, round 1, half number 2. We are live. Charger, Smoker, and a Hunter with that Boomer. Boomer goes for a rocket, a little bit more successful this time, gets a proxy boom onto one survivor. Very open area though, so I doubt the common infected will do too much damage. Even with a ping disadvantage, it won't be too problematic for the survivors. That will be indeed replaced with a Spitter, which does appear to be what these guys prefer on the ladder choke points. And of course it is indeed a Spitter. Hunter is pouncing around. Everything is pretty much spawned up actually. Smoker, Hunter, and Charger. Charger actually does get the charge. He is cleared though, and it doesn't end up being an in-cap. If he took him a little bit further, possibly it would have been an in-cap. Spit is going to delay Bill on the low ground there. However, 3 people all together. Even Bill is going to be completely safe, to be honest, because his friends have the high ground. Smoker will die, and survivors will progress.
You ready, guys?
Through this tunnel.
Into the tunnel they go, only to trigger said tank. And then they'll be moving out. Charger and a Boomer is what the special infected have. That Boomer could be devastating, and indeed it... Well, I thought it was going to be better than that, actually, but ends up only being a 1-person boom. Charger gets a decent charge, but again, they clear him mid-path. That's the second time they've done that, actually. Car moves in, but to no avail just yet. Going to be looking for a big hit on this. He does get the hit, and it is in play, so he has plenty of cars in play right now. Tank being in the hands of Maya. In moves the cars. There's going to be a Hunter spawned up in the bushes as well. Hunter, Jockey, and Smoker is the setup for the tank's support. Smoker does move in. There is a Jockey shutdown. That's going to be barely, 25 damage pounds at least. So that essentially is a rock, let's be honest, because rocks are about 24 or 25 damage. So that essentially made up for the fact that the rock unfortunately ended up missing. And it was going for somebody who didn't see it coming, so they did dodge it unintentionally. 25 damage pounds is the best damage they've done so far, but let's just see if they can pile on. Boomer is going to land, as well as the rock again. They didn't see it coming, but they inadvertently dodged the rock. In moves the Jockey onto Zoe, gets cleared for his troubles. Again, Francis has taken a fair bit of damage, but that's 2 rocks that they've accidentally dodged. They didn't see it coming, and they still didn't get hit by it, so... Survivors still in pretty good health overall so far. Hunter bouncing up onto the high ground. Looking to get another 25. That's a nice rock onto Zoe, followed by a smoke. Interception, Hunter, and Charger. All of which are pretty much successful. Another rock isn't successful, but tank on pass number 1. He's not going to worry too much here. He's going to continue to just be a nuisance from within the bushes. Survivors are breaking line of sight behind the bus, and they're doing it relatively well. But they do have to do it for quite a long time, and they're not going to be able to get him down to pass number 2 before the next attack. Of which is a Boomer with a Jockey and Charger. Jockey moves in first. He's looking for the distraction. In moves the rock, nicely skeeted by Zoe there. Jockey is moving in again. Decent distraction, actually. Nice bunny hops from the Boomer. Charger moves in, is unable to make the connection, and dies for his troubles as well as the Jockey. And the rock is also skeeted as well, so they have switched on a little bit. They are way more aware of these rocks than they were a minute ago. That rock makes a connection with the bus instead of the survivors, so they're looking in a good shape so far. Pass number 1 of the tank, 10% of it. They could actually, potentially, indeed, they do get him down to pass number 2. Boom onto 4 survivors, though. That's not good news for the survivors whatsoever. Smoker is landed as well. He's going to be setting up the punches onto Bill. And, well, he's pretty much going to go down here. He is indeed incapacitated. 4 people boom. That's such a bad result for them, and the tank is intercepting well on the Hunter. Underhand rock is the fastest rock to throw, so he does land a rock and a punch, which he does land onto Lewis. That's Lewis down as well. Smoker is cleared on Zoe. Tank continuing to throw some rocks here from on top of the car. Lands a rock. In moves the Charger as well as support. Can't land the connection. And, well, they're in the middle of so many hittable cars here. There's not a lot they can really do. And it is looking like it's the end of the road for them, literally on this road. Tank does die. Is she going to pull something out of the bag? Potentially. I mean, she's not getting caught by the jockey. And there's only a spitter as well, so she could actually potentially revive somebody here. And, unfortunately, no, she does not. I was hoping she would, but she does not. So that is going to be the survivors wiped just outside the safe room there. Of course, they did make it, ahead of the safe room. They made it to the tunnel. But unfortunately, they won't be seeing much more of the map as they do get wiped. So, 396 points versus 115 points as we move into chapter number 2. All in all, I'm not really going to call this game too soon because there's definitely a chance for both of these teams, really. That's not really too big of a scoreline difference, let's say. Team Not Now being ahead with the 396 points. Team Apex currently on Survivor side. Nope, not Survivor side, Infected side, at 115 points. Pretty sure I've read it up. Yes, I have. So the previous map, of course, is very much mostly open quarters. Now that we're swapping onto Death Toll chapter number 2, the open quarters is eliminated a large amount, and we're now in kind of like a pipeline structure, which is very much indoor combat. Hunter is pre-spawned to the top right of the survivors as we are live on chapter number 2. He's just continuously crouching here. He does end up pouncing in. That's going to be a boom onto 2 survivors. Jockey lands as well. However, he will be cleared, so well played to the survivors, actually. That did look a bit chaotic, but they do manage to get one over the special infected. And they now have a chance to progress. Just about making it into the tunnel. Bill being the last person as they continue to move forward. Spawns up in 4 seconds. So we have a Charger, Jockey, Hunter, and a Smoker. So we have a quad cap, and we also have a tunnel choke point. So it's a decent place for a quad cap as well. Let's just see if Team Apex can land this quad cap. They are choosing to move it in. Jockey does get shut down immediately, though. That's a decent tri-cap. I mean, a very short-lived one. But it's still a decent tri-cap nonetheless. I don't know what happened with that Charger there, but still. Good damage overall inflicted by Team Apex. Tank is going to be spawning at 61%. Survivors now at 35%, give or take. So they will get rid of the crescendo before the tank, which is going to be good for the survivors. Jockey and Smoker both spawned up. Smoker goes first. Tongue is cut nicely, though, by the bullets. Smoker will also be shut down, and that is pretty much everything to be said, honestly. Spitter chooses not to go in because there's nobody really landing, so Spitter isn't particularly going to make much happen in that situation. Survivors just being patient as ever. They're just going to be clearing the common infected, most of which does climb up that ladder, actually, so most of the common infected do come from the same location. It's either really going to be ahead or behind, to be honest. Boomer, Hunter, Charger, and Spitter. Hunter first, Charger second. Double charge and a spit onto 2 survivors. One of them is on the edge of the spit, but the other one is very much in the middle, so very good damage inflicted by Team Apex. Although they are behind, they are certainly putting up a good fight here. Lewis is behind, but he doesn't really need to worry. He does have an eye on the spawn timers. Spawn's only just coming up now, but Lewis rendezvous with his team. Again, it's another quad cap, and, you know, they have a chance to send it in. Smoker from below. Hunter going in. Charger is going to be missing, unfortunately, though. Hunter will land onto Zoe, will be cleared for his troubles. Smoke is unsuccessful. Charger is, you know, he wasn't successful, but he did get about 4 scratches there. Survivor's definitely a little bit worse for wear, as the tank now spawns for Team Apex. Akari now going to be playing the tank. They do have a Boomer as well, and a Hunter and a Smoker, so honestly that's not bad. Boomer does go in, he gets on to 1 Survivor. Hunter lands onto Bill as well, very out of position actually, so that's going to be a good potential Rock as well. Rock does get skeeted. Smoke onto Zoe, she's again also separated. They need to be careful of this, they are taking a lot of damage from separation. Tank, fortunately for them, has not landed any rocks to punish them for it just yet. Being on 96% HP and past number 1, he's in a good position so far. Jockey, Charger, and Boomer. Boomer's going to be hoping for more than 1. Actually, he gets none. Charger moves in for the low ground Survivor. Jockey will land onto Bill, but not for a long time, and that's going to be the end of the attack. Nice rock skeets coming out from the current away people. Which is actually a lie. They're not the away people. Just ignore that I said that, and let's move on. So far, we have a Hunter, as well as a Smoker, and in 1 second, we have a Boomer again. So they have another attempt at that Boomer. Let's see if this time it's a bit more successful. Hunter moves in first, which I knew they would do, honestly. I knew they'd send the Hunter in first. That's going to be a rock landing off the back of the Smoker as well. So he's going to replenish his Rage number 1. He's on pass number 1, 95%. He's replenished it. Very well played. Team Apex looking pretty strong on the infected side right now. The survivors are definitely shooketh. They're going to be a little bit scared. They have done some good damage to the tank though. Currently on 74% HP, so he's not on the greatest of HPs. Hunter and Jockey, as well as Charger, all moving in. Only Jockey is going to land, however, Francis is unaware of the rock and ends up coming into contact with it. And his get-up animation is doubled, so he eats another rock, but that one wasn't really his fault. Oh, that's so unfortunate for Francis. Following rocks are unsuccessful, and Tank is on 3,600 HP, but honestly, he can afford to continue playing long here, because, you know, they're not in good health. They have 1 set of pain pills and 2 people need them. Those 2 people being Bill and Francis. Smoker first, Jockey second, Boomer third. Boomer is going to land, no rock to follow, but he's in a good position to potentially land one here. But again, they did see it coming and it wasn't landing anyway. I mean, the tank's still on pass number 1, 52% HP, as well as 55% frustration. So he's in a relatively good position. They are going to have to pass those pain pills to Francis soon, I presume. Yeah, Tank is taking a lot of damage now, so his only option now is to go for long. He does end up landing a rock, though, onto Francis. Smoker on the high ground onto Zoe for a brief period. Another rock is going to be traveling in for Bill, but he does skeet that with the Magnum.
I think I really hurt something.
They have passed the pills to Francis, which he is indeed going to take, because there's no point saving pills when you're temporary HP, because you're going to continually bleed no matter what. Boom onto 1 survivor to open things up. There's going to be a Jockey and Hunter, both looking for the distraction. Hunter onto Zoe. Rock traveling in, nicely skeeted again, though, by the Uzi focus fire. They are getting some good chip on this tank now, though. He is on 20% HP, which is going to continue to decline. Curve rock around the corner is unsuccessful. Curve rocks are generally better if you do an underhand throw in this situation, but he's not getting them too accurately. Smoker is actually unable to get the pull there. And again, the curve rocks aren't really quite as good as they should be for that area. Boom onto 1 survivor. Charger moving in as well. Gets himself shut down for his troubles though. Tank on pass number 2, 3% HP. So he's in a precarious situation, this big fella. That's going to be an in-cap onto Bill, followed by an immediate revival. Tank is on 36 HP. A few more bullets and he is dead, and he is indeed dead, as is the Hunter. They're going to purposely incapacitate Zoe. Boomer moves in for a bunny hop, does end up getting it, and the stumble will allow the jockey to connect with Francis, and also get him round the corner. So that's going to be significant damage onto Francis, nearing even an in-cap actually. It wasn't quite an in-cap, but it was approaching that. They do already have a charge spit combination as well for the upcoming ladder choke point, so that's going to be good for the special infected. Charger and Spitter already pre-spawned here. They have to be careful of Lewis, because he is the person who has their health bonus right now. Lewis will be the one they will be protecting. That will be an in-cap onto Francis. Unfortunately for him, that is black and white as well, so, you know, if he goes down again, he is dead. Choosing to send Francis up first for the baits. Charger tries to get Bill on the ladder there, but he's unsuccessful. He doesn't have his charge anymore. Boom onto 2 survivors. And that's going to be a Hunter landing onto Zoe on the outside. She will be in-capped and also be black and white after the revival. Quad boom onto 4 survivors. And a death onto Francis because of the Charger. Smoker moves in as well onto Bill and will be in-capping him. So he's also black and white. And, well, Lewis will choose to revive his teammates instead of rushing forward. Spitter and Jockey, looking for the delay. Nice Jockey onto Zoe. Will be cleared off. Hunter landing onto Bill on the high ground, and, Lewis, excuse me. He will be cleared pretty quickly. Boom onto all 3 survivors again. These boomers are doing very good for Team Apex right now. Lewis completely surrounded by common infected, as well as pretty much everybody else, let's be honest. Charger moves in from the rooftop, gets a charge onto Bill, and that's going to be the death of Zoe as well. Jockey moves in for Lewis, and, well, that's the death of Bill in the back, so only Lewis remains. He's the lonesome survivor. He's moving in for the safe room, kills the Spitter. There is a Smoker, though, so his chances of making it are pretty much non-existent. Which it will be eliminated right there and then, just outside the safe room, so that's going to wipe the survivors. They don't make it to the safe room. They do achieve themselves 332 points, and essentially now, Team Apex do have the chance to make the comeback here, but they do need to make it to the safe room in order for that to happen, so definitely a tall order, especially on the likes of Death Toll. It's not a survivor-friendly map. But once again, hopefully everybody is having a wonderful evening, morning, night, or afternoon. As always, I'm very excited to bring to you this Left 4 Dead 2 action, this really big tournament. Yeah, that wasn't me, I don't believe. So, we are going live, ladies and gentlemen. Death Toll, chapter number 2, half number 2. Apex now on the survivor side, and not now on the infected side. Hunter has spawned up to the left of the survivors. Boomer first, onto 1 survivor. However, they are going to move back into the safe room. So, you know, they can just clear the horde here and essentially move out. And hopefully for them as well, pop the Boomer. But the Boomer is recharging his vomit right now, and he may end up actually recharging in time. Let's just see what happens. He's still crouched behind. He does recharge in time, so he gets another boom. Nice skeet, though, on that Hunter. That's going to be a stumble in the spit, but well played to the survivors. Very mechanically gifted players there. That's very well played to them. That was very good decision-making by Team Apex as they make their way through the tunnel. 2 survivors ahead and 2 survivors behind, but that won't be too problematic for them. Smoker, Charger, Boomer, and Hunter. Smoker from behind pulls Francis, but will be cleared. Charger lands onto Francis, but they may be able to clear him mid-path. They don't clear him mid-path, so he gets some damage, but all in all, Team Apex are definitely more switched on than they were in the first round. They are doing quite well. Nice smoker onto Zoe, though. That's going to be a nuisance. That will delay her a little bit. However, she does end up collaborating with her team once more. It is a 2-2. It is not a 2-2, actually. I thought that was a boomer. But it is a smoker, jockey, and hunter without the charger. Then again, jockey does get shut down there. There's going to be only the smoker landing as the hunter is also shut down. Spitter can't really make much happen off that either, so she does go for the respawn. But again, since they have that spitter, they have no hope of a quad cap. They're going to be replaced with a charger, so it's a 2-2 now. Spitter and boomer with the smoker and the charger.
Heads up, smoker somewhere around here.
Smoker is currently spawned up. They have readied up, as well as paused, so interesting. All in all, though, I have to say, if I was team Not Now, currently on the infected side, I would be slightly scared, actually, because it does appear to me that Team Apex are gradually getting better. They have warmed up, and they are, well, they're officially warm now, let's say. We have readied up, and we're going live. Smoker is going to move in onto Zoe immediately after. Charger is so effortlessly focused fired, as well as the boomer. That's very well played. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Team Apex are definitely nothing like they were in round one. They are a lot more consistent. Which, of course, when you play away first, that is usually going to be the case because of the ping disadvantage, the connectivity issues. Usually you don't play at your best to begin with. But then it takes a while for you to adjust to the delays and the ping. And then it's not so bad. It is a quad cap, though, and in it moves. Charger is unsuccessful, so no dreams of the quad cap, and again, the clears are so fast that no damage really happened, honestly. Charger ends up getting shut down, and the tank is now going to spawn in the hands of Shadow Rays. So far, definitely a close game, and, well, they're going to need to pull something quite heroic out of the bag here if they want to wipe Team Apex the way they're currently playing. The rocks are good, but, you know, no distraction, so they won't end up landing. Jockey is moving in, as well as the boomer. Nice distraction from the special infected, actually, and Rock is unsuccessful, unfortunately, but two people boomed, and a jockey on the low ground. In moves the rock. It is skeeted, though. The survivors, you know, they're taking a fair bit of damage, actually, and now it appears the special infected have switched on again, so momentum is shifting left, right, and center. No rocks landed from the tank, though. He is on pass number 1. Has taken 500 damage so far. Charger, Hunter, and a Smoker. Charger moves in for, well, Francis on the pipeline there. And that's going to be a rock immediately following the Smoker. That's going to be well, not an in-cap, but it's going to be lots of damage on Francis. Not to mention, again, the tank has reset his rage on pass number 1, so he can actually, for the time being, continue to play long. When you think about it, though, it is a really big tournament, literally, so everybody is employing the best tactics they can to essentially win, because, you know, you're going to want to. It is a tournament, after all. 2 people boomed, and that was a boomer going in first as well. Nice rock skeet. That's going to be a jockey landing onto Bill, separating him onto the low ground. That's going to be a hunter landing. The rock is unsuccessful. It would have been successful if the hunter didn't land, actually, which is an unfortunate reality. Another nice skeet onto the rock. Pass number 1 has not replenished it this time. 10% off pass number 1, and he's taken a bit over 1,000 damage here. Well over 1,000 damage, actually 1,308 damage, which is continuing to decline here. And you know, pass number 1, 5%. Charger is going to be moving in, but he gets cleared mid-charge. The rock is traveling. The rock actually lands. Oh, that's clutch. That was a 5% pass number 1 rock right there. He replenished it all the way to full from 5%. Well played to the tank. And well played, of course, to the team, really, with their team not now. Playing out of their minds here. Another good long tank essentially from both of these teams, really. Boomer, Smoker, and a Hunter for the Special Infected. Smoke onto Lewis. That's dangerous for the tank. Actually, the tank can't get the rock, unfortunately for him. 2 people boomed. Rock traveling in. Rock is not successful again, though. Hopefully for the survivors, you know, they're going to hope he doesn't land another 5% rock. He doesn't, actually. He ends up getting a double punch. A lovely, lovely double punch there, committed by the tank. And a rock. He is committing. He's bunny hopping towards the survivors. That's going to be a charge, a punch. It's going to be a jockey dead stopped. Everybody's getting slapped around, including the Special Infected. That's going to be the tank spreading the damage onto many other survivors here. That's a dual cap as well. Smoke in the back. Tank is trying to close the distance. He probably will go down here. He does indeed go down. And survivors actually looking in kind of a replicate situation to the predecessors. Also, it's worth mentioning that Akari actually dealt 53% of the damage to the tank in that fight. So he actually dealt more than half of the damage, which is definitely a weakness that they are going to need to work on in the coming rounds, I would say. There is a boomer from below. Charger moves in. Lands the connection onto Francis. Nice 2-shot skeet on the Hunter. Boomer is below, looking to try to sack the spawn, but he isn't able to. Survivors, despite the 2-person boom, will have no difficulty moving forward through the pipeline structure. They have a ladder choke point coming up, and, well, like I say, replicate situation, really. 1 person on permanent HP, and then 3 people on temporary. That's a quad boom as well by the boomer. That's going to open up an opportunity. Spitter moves in as well as Smoker into the Spit. That's going to be an in-cap. That's well played. Not going to be a wipe, but it's certainly going to be a delay. And the Smoker can get the scratch on the in-capped guy as well. And further delay. They are watching out for it, though. They know he's there, and they do actually shield the in-capped survivor. So well played to the survivor side there. Smart decision-making. Smoker is to the left of the survivors, as well as the Hunter. He is just, well, skeeted out of the air. Charger is unsuccessful and will be cleared for his troubles. That was, I believe... No, I don't believe it was a quad cap. But anyway, they are not too far away from the safe room now. Revival onto Bill. There is a black and white survivor. That black and white survivor being Francis. However, the safe room is so close that they don't really need to worry. They've unfortunately shut the door on their teammate, though. And that means that Zoe is now outside. They can't be making mistakes like that. That's led to the death of Francis as well. Oh, that's so unfortunate. They really can't be doing that. I mean, only a boomer and a spitter remains. And, yeah, they're going to have to get in now. But that's so unfortunate. The last person to make it into the safe room should be the person closing the door. And that, unfortunately, stopped them from getting really much of a health bonus at all. So they're still in the game. There's only 201 points, you know, separating these 2 teams, so there's nothing much to think about. And all in all, when you think about it, technically, Team Apex actually did better because they made it a little bit further, regardless. However, not quite good enough to take back the lead, but certainly enough to close the point margin just a little bit more. As we move into Death Toll, chapter number 3 of the really big tournament between Team Apex and Team Not Now. Apex now being on the Special Infected side, and Team Not Now being on the Survivor side. Some fresh new talent for me to commentate, actually, because, you know, especially with the Asian-located teams, I am not really too familiar. Not too familiar with the Asian scene in Left 4 Dead 2, so... Always fantastic to see new talents from all over the world that I have not yet seen. just waiting on a couple more people, and we shall be going live, ladies and gentlemen. Death Toll Chapter number 3 is live. Smoker and Spitter, as well as Charger, all moving in. Charger is shut down, though, very open area, so Smoker tries to smoke Zoe in the spit there, but isn't quite able to do so. Survivors will continue to progress through the map here. A total of 6 seconds remaining on the clock for the Special Infected. They have a Hunter, Jockey, and Boomer. And the final spawn is a Charger. Boomer first, lands onto one Survivor. Jockey and Hunter both moving in on the low ground. Charger does get a few scratches. That's a nice separation Jockey in the back as well. That's going to be a little bit of damage. Not too bad. I mean, Survivors overall are playing pretty well. But that's some decent damage regardless. Survivors have enough time, actually, to make it past this choke point as well. They will be able to drop down. Spawns only just coming up now, that being a Smoker and a Hunter, with a Boomer and Spitter. Proxy Boom onto one Survivor. The stumble is enough to allow the Spitter to land on the Boom Survivor in Spit, with a Hunter on him, so that's going to be significant damage inflicted onto Francis there. Onwards and upwards for the Survivors. Definitely a very close game so far, actually. I mean, I'm on the edge of my seat, quite literally, because I don't really know who's going to win this just yet, so may have to wait until the 8th chapter, potentially, to find that detail out. Which, of course, is good for us, and that's a Boomer from the trees, shut down this time. Very well played by the Survivors. Charger, Hunter, and Jockey. Hunter was pre-spawned, but he's moving back for the respawn.
There might be supplies in that house.
It's either going to be a Spitter or a Smoker, this spawn. It was initially a Boomer, so if it's a Smoker, it will be a quad cap. It is, in fact, a Spitter, though, so it's not a quad cap. In moves the Jockey. That's a good separation Jockey, and the interceptions are decent. The Spit is not quite successful, though. Still, a lot of damage, but not as much as they would have hoped for in that situation. Tank in the hands of Hamasha, or Hamatia, however that is pronounced. I do apologize if I do butcher any of these pronunciations. Anybody who corrects me as well, unfortunately I won't see the message, so I do apologize, but my PC is not really reliable enough for that. Boom onto 2 Survivors. Nice rocket boom into their faces. Jockey tries the interception onto Francis, isn't quite able to make it happen, but the tank is in play here with a car, and he's going to be incapacitating Francis as well as potentially even getting the kill. He's struggling a little bit, but yeah, to be honest, Francis is pretty much dead here. There's not really anything the Survivors can do, so it is RIP to Francis. He does die. Which again is testament to the fact that what I've been saying. Team Apex really have switched on, and they really are playing much better now. Charger first. Connects with the car instead of the Survivors, though. Jockey second, a little bit delayed, a little bit staggered. Jockey is shut down for his troubles. Tank is just slowly progressing towards the Survivors here. Didn't really take much damage for that kill, so it was definitely worth it. Going to be looking to move the car in here. 2 shotguns, 1 Uzi in the hands of the Survivors. Nice Boomer from behind the train onto one Survivor. Nice car as well onto Lewis. That's another incapacitation. Smoker onto Bill. Tongue gets cut by I don't really know what, honestly. But he does get hunted in the end. And Smoker is going to look for the interception. Won't be able to get the interception, though. And, well, that is the... well, in the meantime, that was the death of another Survivor. So only Bill and Zoe remain. Tries the jump punch, but he can't quite get it. That's an in-cap onto Bill. Last remaining Survivor being Zoe. Tank with the underhand throw. Nice dupe by Zoe. Zoe making good use of the high ground to kill the Charger as well. So well played by Zoe. Ends up getting punched though. One too many times. The Jockey will secure the deal. As well as the Boomer, which is overkill. But there you have it. So ladies and gentlemen, the Survivors have been wiped. 355 points achieved in total. Just about putting them above 1,000 points. 1,083 points in their hands in Team Not Now. And we are now moving on to the second half of Death Toll Chapter number 3. Now it is all up to Team Apex to essentially do what they were hoping to do last round, which is make that comeback. But, you know, they are against strong opposition, so I have definitely readied up. So, chapter number 3 is nearly coming to an end, this being the second half of it, so we're looking to fairly soon close the first half of this match, and to be honest, considering how narrow the points are looking, we are definitely going to be having an away fixture as well, so that's what I'm looking forward to. We are live. Jockey first, landing onto Lewis, will be dead stopped off. Charger is unsuccessful, other than a scratch, and yeah, will be killed in the corner there. Smoker and Spitter both dying in unison, and you know, fairly synchronized, so they will be getting their next attack pretty synchronized. Because when you die a long time after your teammates as special infected, you run the risk of staggering the spawn time, as one person will be at 15 seconds while somebody else is at 2. And then you can't really do anything with that. Charger, Hunter, and Jockey. Boomer first onto one survivor, lands onto Bill. Boomer's just jumping up and down, moving everything around as he's on the low ground there. Survivor's just playing very cautiously as we speak, just clearing a few common infected. The boom has dissipated. That's going to be a charge onto Zoe, followed by a Hunter. Jockey is dead stopped and shut down, and the final spawn was a Smoker, so they actually had a quad cap there. And they will clear the Smoker because, Smoker by itself isn't going to do very much against 4 survivors. So, honestly, overall, that maybe was a little bit too hasty, because they ended up getting a quad cap there, and they probably should have waited for that, if I'm honest, but water under the bridge, as always. Survivors will be making their way forward. It's going to be a 2-2 now. Boomer ends up getting shut down. That's going to be a charge spit combination in the little building there, as well as a Hunter, so that's all in the spit. And, I mean, the God Frames did kind of save him a little bit there, I'm not going to lie. Did not take as much damage as I'm sure the infected were hoping for, and that is a downside of God Frames. Jockey will be moving in there, but immediately meeting his demise. Tank is now spawning in the hands of Hold On. Boomer tries the rocket, but ends up getting shut down for his troubles. Tank making his way in. Charger moves in, gets a double charge actually. One person stumbled to their back. There is a set of pain pills in that little shed area as well, so... Providing, of course, they're able to survive the tank, they do have a set of pain pills as well, which is a silver lining. Smoker spawning up. Tongue is cut though. Hunter onto Zoe temporarily. And again, nicely done by the survivors with that focus fire on the tongue. And again, they clear it very efficiently, and they see the car coming in, so they end up dodging it just barely, actually. That was close to Zoe. Tank not looking too good so far. He's on pass number 2, 70%. In moves the tank. That's going to be a charger landing with the boomer. And the charger also gets a pummel, so that's going to be significant damage. I mean, the car does travel in. It doesn't land onto anybody, but it's in play. In moves the tank. He's on pass number 2. 30% of it, so he's looking for that punch. He does get the punch eventually. However, misses the second. And the third. 25 damage pounce, though. Onto the survivors. Underhand rock throw, followed by a punch, and several more to follow. That 25 damage pounce is the reason for that in cap right there. rock off the back of the jockey. Actually, I believe the rock may have hit the jockey there, and therefore didn't hit the survivors. They are surviving this tank very well, though. They do end up eliminating the tank, and, well, Team Apex are definitely switched on, and Akari did do the most damage, but not by a huge margin, so Boomer gets dead stopped and shut down. I remember last round, Akari did 52% of the tank damage, but this time it's 32%, 28, 22, and 18. Charger, Hunter, and a Spitter up for the Special Infected. Hunter and Charger both moving in. Charger is not successful, though. And really, neither is the Hunter, actually. He gets a temporary pull. Smoker still has the tongue up. Ends up pulling Zoe off, actually. So Zoe is going to have no choice but to go all the way back round, which is a nuisance. I like the natural horde spawn timer, by the way, 3,500 seconds. Boomer ends up getting shut down. Very well played by Team Apex as they make their way forward. Everybody dropped down now as well, so, you know, they're making it pretty far. And they have that set of pain pills I was discussing earlier, so... Jockey, Charger, and Spitter. As well as a Hunter. Jockey is moving in first for the distraction. Gonna get focus fired as well as the Hunter. And the Charger. My goodness. Zoe somewhat runs through Spit for a brief period there, but not really much damage accumulates from it. All in all, survivors are looking like, if they continue this level of gameplay, they're looking like they're going to make the comeback here. They do have to get into the safe room with a health bonus, and right now they have a pretty good one, so they do have this crescendo to get through, but let's just see how they do. Boomer first, decent boom, onto one survivor. Smoker behind, though. He went a little bit before everybody else. Jockey is getting focus fired as he moves in here. Gets himself shut down for his troubles. In moves the Hunter last but not least. For Bill, actually, on the tombstone there. Gonna be cleared. So, the bell has been rung, and the crescendo is underway. Charger and a Spitter so far, as well as a Boomer. Well, it's a 2-2, and it's an open area, so if I was the Special Infected, I wouldn't be too pleased about it. But we will have to see. Boomer can't quite get the boom from behind the wall there. Smoker onto one. Gets caught on the tombstone, actually. Proxy boom is successful onto two survivors, and the Spit is also successful onto Zoe for a brief period. That's some of their health bonus eliminated. And as we can see here, 1,083 points versus 1,011. Very tight game right now, and if these survivors make it into the safe room, they will have made the comeback for chapter number 4 upcoming. Hunter, Jockey, and Charger. Jockey moving in first for the distraction. Gets there, stopped and shut down. Hunter moving in as well. No synchronization with the Spitter. And, well, I mean, the Charger actually landed with the Hunter in the same location, so if the Spitter was a little bit more patient there, there could have actually been a double Spit. But it ended up being a no Spit. Survivors now have free reign to make it into the safe room. Rocket boom onto one survivor. That'll open up the door of opportunity for the Special Infected. Nice pull onto Zoe in the back there. That's some significant delay, and she's the health bonus as well. In moves the Hunter for a damage pounce. Can't quite land it. It's just going to move in for a regular pounce. Ends up getting skeeted, though. Team skeeted. And the survivors make it into the safe room, successfully mounting the comeback here. 1,235 points for now ahead Team Apex. 1,083 points in the hands of Team Not Now as we move into Death Toll chapter number 4 of the first half of this installment. Very, very tight game, actually. Not very many points separating these two teams. And how lucky am I to have my first game be this close? I'm very lucky to be able to commentate this.
Riverside's a bust. Let's just get to the water and steal a boat.
Sure, why not?
Just waiting on a few more people to ready up, and we shall be
You ready?
good to go.
Ready?
This being Death Toll chapter number 4, which is going to be the final chapter of the first half of this, and then we will be moving on to a home situation for the Team Apex. As always, hopefully everybody is having a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, or night. My name, for anybody unaware, is Haraldsson, or Harold, Harry, whatever you want to call me, honestly, they all work. Cameraman Kreitcher, and the tournament is the really big tournament. With this particular fixture being Team Apex on the Survivor side now, versus Team Not Now, currently on the Infected side. And we're going live, ladies and gentlemen. The final chapter of the first half. Let's just see who comes out on top. That's going to be Jockey first. Spit, delay. Attempt isn't quite successful. Charger does get focus fired as well. Very good focus fire by Team Apex there as they shut down the attack. Onwards and upwards for the survivors. They're going to be making it over these military sandbags here and continuing to progress. Jockey, Charger, and Hunter completed with a Boomer. Boomer is unsuccessful though. He does get himself shut down. Charger first, which isn't the best result in most cases, and yeah, the Jockey and Hunter both get shut down as well, so... Charger first is usually something you want to try to avoid because chargers are quite easy to focus fire if they go in first. Not to mention how deadly they are as well, so you do need the distraction in the majority of cases.
Reloading.
And now it would be replaced with a 2-2, so it's a smoker and a charger, with a boomer and a spitter. Boomer first onto one survivor. Charger is going to get a scratch, but that's all she wrote for the charger. Pull onto Lewis as well. They tried to stumble him in the spit there, but they weren't able to do so.
Stop shooting me!
Survivor's going to make their way into the closed area here, the little office space. As well as make it out of the windows as well, so they have dodged a choke point there. They're going to be triggering the Horde, and the tank is actually after the Horde as well, so they have a crescendo to get through, and then the tank. Hunter, Charger, and a Jockey. Finished off with a Spitter. Is the setup for the Special Infected. Charger first, but again, I mean, Charger first in an open area, never going to end very well. Jockey is dead, stopped and shut down. Hunter and Spitter try to make something happen, but again, yeah, nice shutdown. Spitter does die last at the very least, so, you know, the likelihood of it being a quad cap is increased with that. Which they will have to send in pretty quickly, to be honest, because, well, Crescendo is still going, but, you know, tank is ahead, and they did get a Boomer in the end as well, so it's not a quad cap. Boomer does get a nice spawn there, actually, behind that pillar. I'm getting a boom onto Bill. Charger, Jockey, and Smoker. Smoker first. Well, Smoker by himself, actually. Charger is unsuccessful, as is the Jockey. However, when we look at the health, it is difficult to ignore, actually, that Lewis is currently on 40 HP. Even a stray bullet, something as silly as one pellet from a shotgun, could send him into slower movement speed, so he has to be careful of that. Smoker and a Hunter with a Boomer and Spitter. Crescendo still going strong, but will be coming to an end shortly. Hunter moves in, 18 damage pounce plus an interception off the smoker. That's a very good attack there. Lewis is not incapacitated, but they may actually incapacitate him anyway. Just because if he is revived with 30 HP, it'll be better than, you know, like two permanent HP or 3.
Reloading. Ammo here.
Jockey, Charger, and a Hunter, followed by a Boomer.
They didn't have a chance. Jockey!
Charger and Jockey from behind both moving in. Scratch from the Charger, but not much to follow. Hunter going for a 25 damage bounce here. He's bouncing on the walls, but they have seen him. Very difficult place to land a damage bounce, actually, because it's so open. Boomer rockets in, and the distraction from the Hunter is enough, actually, to get the Boomer a 2-person boon. In moves the tank, however, survivors are moving back. That's a 4 damage pounce onto Bill on the ladder. Smoker does get shut down, actually. Very well played by the survivors. Tank is moving a car in, but, you know, he's not really able to do much. He is going to be chasing the survivors here. And interestingly enough, you know, he is actually able to get behind the survivors, which he currently is. And the survivors are aware of it, so they are going to push forward. And this could end up being an AI tank, actually. That's going to be a boom onto one survivor. Charger is looking for the delay here. Can't quite get it, though. He gets caught on the railing, and he charges into the doorway, which also stumbles his jockey friend. And, well, there you have it. Tank is AI. Survivors just kiting around left, right, and center, and, well... there you have it. The tank is very far away, and, I mean, is he even going to do anything? Survivors may even choose to actually get into the safe room before the tank can even get close to them. So Infected are in a very, very dangerous situation here. This attack essentially really has to count for them. And it is a quad cap, so let's just see. Smoker and, well, Hunter landing. Nice double charge and a jockey. That's a good tri-cap, actually. Very well played, and the tank is getting closer and closer. He is full HP as well. And the clears aren't too great either. The tank is now in play. I mean, without any support, but... he's going to be throwing that rock onto Bill. Can't quite land it. Well, I mean... that is interesting. He's going to be looking for the rock. Doesn't quite land it onto Bill. Boomer getting a very nice boom onto 3 survivors there, and the tank is just continuing to chase down the survivors. Switches the rock focus, actually. He nearly landed that rock. Nice double charge. Hunter moving in for Bill as well. Getting focus fire, but he still lands anyway. The AI tank is pummeling the survivors here, which he is doing with great ease. That is going to be an in-cap, surely, onto many survivors, that being 3, actually. So their tactic didn't end up really paying off in the end. Jockey gets dead stops and shut down, and, well, AI tank is pretty useless, honestly, with chasing survivors. Lewis is inside the safe room here. Boomer moves in and gets himself shut down. No boom onto Lewis, but he is inside the safe room anyway. Tank has now died, but, well... it would be slightly risky of him to go and try to save his teammates. I have to say, though, that did not really work out for them. I don't think I agree with the decision to AI the tank, because, you know, you haven't done any damage to the tank, so a full HP AI tank is still pretty dangerous with 4 special infected.
Please.
As we, you know, as we saw there. Bit of downtime as we speak, though, because the guys outside are not yet dead, so the round is pretty much over, but we just need to wait for the survivors on the outside to eventually, unfortunately, perish.
This shit. Oh, shit.
Which they do indeed do so.
Shit! Shit! Spinner! Heads up!
But as we can see, though, 662 points, which, would be 700 if every survivor made it. And they had a good health bonus as well, so, It was a risky decision the survivors took, and, well, it ended up not paying off, really. Just waiting on one more person to head back, and we shall be going live. This being the last half of the first half of this game, as in the last half of the last chapter of the first game. That's a mouthful. Little bit of downtime here. We do appear to have a crash as well as a restart, so if anybody would like to replenish beverages and get some snacks, now might be the best time. Then again, they are connecting, so maybe not. It is now time for Team Apex to play on the Special Infected side, and Team Not Now to play on the Survivor side, this being their home fixture, so essentially they need to make it to the safe room with a health bonus, which is, the moral of the story for Left 4 Dead 2, honestly, but... yeah, that ain't me. And we're going live. Last half of the last chapter. They're going for that death charge, actually. I see the smoker positioned for it. Quite tricky to pull off, but let's just see if they do manage it. Ends up missing the pull, though. He's going to have to reposition as a result. Smoker misses the pull, and, well, charge in the safe room, followed by Spit, which doesn't actually land on the right person. Still, not bad damage, though. Survivors now have free reign to continue their progression here. Going to be making it over these, as I've said before, military sandbags. Smoker, Charger, and Hunter, as well as a Boomer. Hunter is pre-spawned, Boomer is unsuccessful. Smoke behind, and Charger is just barely skimming off of Bill there. They're going to be looking to chase down this Charger, which, yeah, he was very low, so... There was a one-shot skeet, actually, that I missed as well, but all in all, decent shutdown by the survivors. They, of course, have to make good use of this ping advantage, because this is their last chance to do so. They will be moving on to away after this. We now have this upcoming choke point, this little, I suppose, I don't know what's called it, actually. High ground choke point, let's say. Hunter first, Jockey second, Hunter landing onto Lewis, followed by the Spit, and potentially Boomer stumble in the Spit. Oh, that's devastating. That's well played for the Special Infected, but, survivors on the other hand, they're not going to be too pleased with that. They did find a spare set of painkillers at least, so that's going to work in their favour. Crescendo has been triggered, and, well, they have to deal with not only the Crescendo, but a quad cap as well. Hunter, Charger, Smoker, and Jockey, all of which is moving in. Charger is unsuccessful, so the quad cap is, well, eliminated pretty much. Jockey is going to land after the Smoker onto the same target. Hunter will also land, but not for very long. And that is it for the Special Infected attack. Most of the damage has been inflicted onto Lewis. Everybody else looking in reasonable health. As it was a quad cap, it is now a 2-2, which is going to be a jockey and charger with the boomer and spitter. Boomer first, landing onto one survivor, jockey second, charger third. Charger can't quite get the connection, actually. Very good focus fire. No additional damage has been inflicted, so yeah, it's definitely all systems go for Team Not Now. They really do have to survive this tank as well as make it to the safe room to make the comeback that they need, which it's not going to win them the game, but it will put them in a more comfortable position. And Hunter, Jockey and Smoker with the boomer. All of which is moving in. Smoke onto Lewis. Very nice dual cap, actually. Hunter is skeeted, but the dual cap from the Smoker and Jockey is good. There is a double boom as well. The pressure is rife, and it is definitely piling on where Not Now are concerned. Some pretty good attacks overall, and Lewis is, well, he's fully temporary HP now, so. Took his pain pills and has chosen to be given another pair. In moves the Hunter as well as Charger. Charger does land a charge in the spit. Actually not in the spit, that's a weird glitch. So I guess because it's a sloped area, it might have glitched a little bit. That's unfortunate. Nonetheless, tank is going to spawn here for Mayuyu, I'm assuming. Tank looking for that first car, which he is moving into play, but the survivors are moving back. They have to be careful of that boomer, and, well, 2 people boomed. That's precarious. And the jockey is going to land. He's going to separate the survivor and possibly get in-capped. Yes, he is indeed in-capped by the car, as well as another in-cap from on Lewis. So 2 people in-capped, probably a few people dead as well, let's be honest. Yes, indeed, 1 person dead. He's continuing with these cars, but this could actually be the end, and that is indeed the end for Zoe as well. Well played with the car. Bill, the last remaining survivor, is, well, going to clear the jockey. And not quite the charger. We'll be going down here. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be the GG from us for now. Points currently at 1,897 for Team Apex. 1,534 points for Team Not Now. Unfortunate result for them, actually, I have to say. You know, that was the comeback potential, but, you know, still plenty of chances. There is going to be a second half with 4 more chapters of Death Toll. In the meantime, there'll be a little bit of downtime as we just configure the next server, which is, as I say, going to be a home advantage for Team Apex. So now is definitely the time to replenish beverages and whatnot. Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very sorry, but I'm going to have to bring you some bad news because it does appear they have actually GG'd that game. So there won't be an away fixture, I'm afraid. Sorry to keep you waiting for nothing, but thank you very much regardless for tuning in. Thank you for your patience as well. That is going to be it from myself and Krycha, myself being Haraldsson. That is the Death Toll fixture between Apex and Not Now, which Apex did come out victorious. So thank you everybody for tuning in. We will see you pretty soon, tomorrow I believe. There are some more matches today as well, but not by myself. So it's GG's from us, and see you soon. Goodbye.